Hello, everyone, and welcome again to yet another episode of Podshots with Bhavna. Well, of course, after the electrifying kickoff, we are back again with a power packed 10 minutes bite. And this time, we are going to deep dive into a very fast paced topic of B2B growth space. And I have a special guest with me today who's not only expert in B2B startups, but also expert in scaling up the B2B businesses. So, allow me a second till I bring him up on the screen for all of you.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hello. So, today on the podcast mic, we have Sonesh Prakash. Sonesh is a seasoned fractional CMO, not only for the B2B startups and the Indian SMEs, but he has a lot of international clients as well. He comes with a rich experience in developing some lean marketing engines, but still drive the revenue. With his great expertise working with technology firms, he comes with the rich experience or the razor sharp insights to develop the GTMs and manage the full life cycle of the marketing. And also how a data driven human storytelling can actually move the needle. So, welcome, Sonesh. Thank you so much to be my guest on the show.
Thank you, Bhavna. Thank you for the lovely introduction. Looking forward to the show.
Thank you so much. So, Sunesh, I think just to let you know the format of the show, so we are going to have some very sharp shooting questions, which is like real answers which are expected, and I'm sure you are actually going to be very candid in sharing your insights. And then towards the end of the show, we are going to have a 1 minute sensational rapid fire. So, are you ready?
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Okay. So let's begin, Sanesh. So since you come in with a rich experience in B2B marketing, so what, according to you, do you think that marketers make that small mistake or a big mistake in developing the GTMs for B2B?
Okay, since I work a lot with startups and SMEs in the B2B space, so the answer would differ from the life stage of the company. But typically, if I were to give maybe two couple of common points across sectors and industries, one is getting the ICP right, the ideal customer profile right. Because if they don't get this right, most of your marketing activities will not really bear fruit. So getting the ICP right, and after the ICP is, you've discovered the ICP, you need to really work on your cohesive marketing approach, wherein marketing, sales, product, I mean, whoever is involved in the, function, they kind of work together and create the overall messaging and promotion strategy. Because unless you get the buy-in from all stakeholders and all of them work together, B2B can be a very, ambitious project to run.
Absolutely. I think you very well pointed out some of the very relevant thing, and one of the things which was very important and critical is the collaboration between the stakeholders. So thanks a lot, Silesh. So I think since we both come in from the B2B, and this is something which is probably a common pain point for all the B2B marketers, is to balance between the demand generation and the brand building. So what is your take on that, and how have you managed to balance it throughout?
So both of them are important. You can't really do one without the other. And especially again from the context of startups and SMEs, while since I work with very limited budgets for both by demand generation and brand building, in fact, they favor more towards demand generation when it comes to implementing the budgets they have. So typically, on one end, you will have demand generation run through let's say LinkedIn ads or through email marketing and all, wherein we are focusing on towards middle of the funnel to bottom of the funnel kind of initiatives. The other aspect is how do we use platforms like LinkedIn for building a personal brand for the founder, and which ultimately over the long term results in engagement with their possible stakeholders. So over there, content marketing plays a major role towards the founder. I mean, basically, it's called founder-led marketing these days. When how do we utilize the founder's brand to ensure that it's engaged with the prospective customers? Because in B2B, that engagement is very very important, especially because 95% of your market is not necessarily in the buying stage.
Yeah, very, very, very rightly pointed out, Sunesh. And I think just again coming back to one of the critical area which B2B marketers really face is that, the gestation period of the B2B space is really far longer than the B2C space. So what, according to you, you think that, is the kind of advice which you would want to give it to the audience over here, that they can, considering all this long buying cycle, but still they can have a successful marketing campaigns?
Sure. So, in B2B marketing, buying cycles could be anywhere between 3 months, 6 months to a year, or maybe more, depending on the value of the product or the service which you are selling. So, and again, the factor of 5%, 95% comes into play, where 95% of the audience is not necessarily in the market. So over there, what you need to do is that's where the element of brand building and ensuring that you are covering the entire buying committee comes into play. Because in B2B decision and I mean, you actually come across various stakeholders across the buying journey. So you have to ensure that you engage with each of these stakeholders. It could be the CFO, CEO, CTO, CIO. I mean, depending on what kind of product you are selling, and you have to speak their language and ensure that while your overarching product has more or less the same benefits, but it has to be communicated in the manner which it is suitable to that particular persona. For example, let's say if you're selling a CRM product, and if you are reaching out to a marketer, you will probably talk about stuff in a different way, more about how it is helping in lead qualification, lead generation, and so on and so forth. Whereas if you go to a CTO or a CIO, you will talk about different things, more technical orientation, and so on and so forth. So that's how you typically ensure reach out to different personas in a message which will resonate with them.
That's very well said. I think because of the longer periods, the touch points are also far more than any other cycle. So I think having a strategy for every touch point makes a lot of difference. So then coming to one more important critical factor in B2B is the content, which is the king. Uh, do you think that over the period of time there is any change which you see in the content management of B2B space, or what is your suggestion? How do you scale, or rate content in the entire B2B marketing?
So, content is a very important factor because, in B2B, marketing is more of a sales support function. That's why marketing and sales have to really work together to ensure that the messaging really lands. Okay. And content has to be done in various, I mean, I think, and especially since I work with a lot of smaller firms and, startups, over there, content is also important and also becomes a bottleneck because a lot of times subject matter experts are not easy to find. But having said that, the idea is to, create, let's say, in a month, if you are creating one or two collaterals, how do you repurpose that collateral across different, platforms and different formats? For example, let's say if we do one webinar every month, now that webinar can actually, insights from that webinar can actually, be repurposed for different mediums. You can have multiple posts around LinkedIn. You can actually do multiple email campaigns around the same, and you can also use that for creating infographics and multiple other things. So that's how typically works, wherein you could create one long form content or one anchor content, and that can be repurposed into multiple things.
Oh, I think it's a very valid point, especially in the times when we are looking out for a lot of operational excellence and productivity and efficiency enhancers. So repurposing the content in various forms also makes a lot of difference. So thanks. So coming to my last question of the main grid, uh, what would you like to advise to all the people who are trying to make a leap from B2C to B2B?
So B2C and B2B, while so B2C, the thing is, sales cycles are very short. It's a lot of times it's an impulse decision. If the product is not very expensive, And B2B is not at all impulsive. It is, it's a decision which takes a lot of time. It could be months, if not years. And that's where the whole aspect, and here you're dealing with a mass audience. B2B is a very, very specific audience wherein you are dealing with buying committees, which could involve 5, 10, 15 people. So overall, the buying journey is slower. It requires more consultative selling, and as I said, that involves multiple stakeholders. So basically, we'll have to focus on relevance, relationships, and sales alignment, if I were to put three things. And success ultimately will be measured in terms of what pipeline revenue it is resulting in, and not necessarily impressions or reach.
Okay, great advice. I hope there are many B2C aspiring people who are listening out to you to make that shift to B2B, and they will really find it very insightful and helpful. So this brings us to the end of the main grid. So now it's the time for a very sizzling rapid fire question. So where I'm going to shoot some rapid fire questions, and we look out for a lot of candid answers from you. So are you ready for it, Sonesh?
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Okay, so let me start the timer. Okay, so Sonesh, what is the first app which you check after waking up? Now, don't tell me it's emails.
So it's apparently email. Unfortunately,
Oh,
that's the truth.
okay.
But then but then it is these days it's more about checking the Sensex, because these days I'm
Oh,
new to investing and I'm actually
wow.
checking out what's happening in the stock markets.
Okay, so you're throwing a lot of sensational things around. So a lot of money being invested. That's a good way. Okay, so next one, weekend for Sonesh. Is it yoga by the bay or binging on Netflix or something else?
It in a way it's both and more. So I do paint, I do write poetry, I do go for walks in nature, I do catch up with friends. So it's a multiple thing. I mean, and sometimes binging on Netflix as well.
Oh, that's a very wholesome weekend recipe. Okay. So, Sunesh, if you were one of the marketing tool in the entire marketing stack, so what would that be?
I think I would be Canva,
Oh, okay.
because I am
Creative one?
creative by nature and I like, yeah, I am creative by nature and I love spending time on Canva.
Okay, that's great. Okay, the last one where I'm going to give you some three options. Consider as if these are the options on a dating app. So let's see which one gets a right swipe from Sunesh. So the three options are HubSpot, or it's Instantly, or Apollo. So which one gets the right swipe?
I think all three of
You can choose one.
them. uh, so it is going to be instantly for sure.
Okay, great. So wonderful, Sunesh. We are bang on time, and it was great and my pleasure to have you on this episode. And I'm sure that audience must have really found it very insightful and helpful. Thanks once again, and good luck to you.
Thanks for having me, Bhavna. It was amazing talking to you.
Bye bye. Okay, guys, so it's a wrap for yet another Podshots with Bhavna, where big ideas are served in bite sized. I'm sure Sunesh really touched upon various critical elements of the entire B2B journey, may it be GTMs to challenges to collaborative works to even suggestions for those who are making a switch from B2C to B2B. So I found it very insightful. I'm sure that you also found it very insightful. So I pick up coffee as my shot. What is your choice of shot? I leave it to you, but don't forget that sip in the insights and don't forget to come back again next Friday till I bring on yet another industry leader and have deep, meaningful conversations in a short pod shot. Till then, stay real and stay relevant. Take good care of yourself and your loved ones. Bye bye. Signing off. See you next time.